Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a non-Tagalog speaking student and you have a Filipino grammar assessment creeping up on the horizon, I want you to take a massive, deep breath. You are in exactly the right place. Today, our goal is simple but incredibly powerful. We are going to completely master Filipino prepositional phrases. And you know what the best part is? We're going to do it by using clear structural parallels to English grammar. This way, you can walk into your upcoming exams with total confidence, actually understanding the mechanics behind the language rather than just blindly memorizing words.
Okay, let's dive into our blueprint for today. We're starting from the smallest puzzle pieces with the grammatical building blocks, moving into the equation in action, expressing your viewpoints, showing contrasting views, putting it all together in the master concept map, and wrapping up with a crucial exam practice checkpoint.
All right, Section 1, the grammatical building blocks.
Now, what's really interesting here is how it perfectly illustrates that Tagalog grammar often works exactly like English grammar. Think of a phrase like a giant puzzle. You literally just snap a preposition together with a noun or a pronoun to create your complete phrase. It's a perfect, seamless match.
Let's lock in the core vocabulary you are absolutely going to see on your test. The big term is Pariralang Pang-ukol. I'll say that again, Pariralang Pang-ukol. This immediately translates to prepositional phrase. So what is it? Well, it's simply a group of words starting with a preposition, which in Tagalog is a pang-ukol. That directional word is then immediately followed by a naming word, either a noun or pronoun, known as a pangalan or panghalip. Together, they give context to your sentence.
To really make this stick for your exam, let's look at this grammatical equation. It's a great memory trick. Preposition plus noun equals prepositional phrase, or pangukol plus pangalan o panghalip equals Pariralang Pang-ukol. Here is why this matters. If a test question asks you to identify the Pariralang Pang-ukol in a sentence, you have to look for both parts of this mathematical formula. Don't just circle the preposition. You need the entire block.
Moving right along to Section 2, the equation in action. Let's see what this looks like in the wild.
Okay, let's break down a real sentence. Ayon sa pag-asa, magkakaroon ng pag-ulan. In English, this translates directly to, according to pag-asa, there will be rain. Look at how the parts align perfectly. Ayon sa is our pangukol, our preposition. It translates to according to. But the phrase isn't complete without the pangalan, the noun, which in this case is pag-asa, the Philippine Weather Bureau. So the full Pariralang Pang-ukol is ayon sa pag-asa. Now, a huge pitfall for students, seriously, I see this all the time, is accidentally labeling the noun pag-asa as the preposition. Remember your equation. It's the connector plus the noun.
Let's move to Section 3 and see how this foundation builds into expressing your viewpoints.
Enter our next major test term, konseptong pananaw. Let's break the word down. Konseptong relates to concept, and pananaw means viewpoint. Together, this is the grammar rule for expressing viewpoints. When your test asks you to identify the pinagmulan, which means the exact source of an idea, opinion, or belief, it is always looking for a konseptong pananaw phrase.
All right, let's put on our test decoder hats and look at this viewpoint toolkit. If you see ayon kay or ayon sa, that maps directly to according to. Batay kay or batay sa means based on. Sangayon kay means in agreement with. And akala ko means I thought. Now here is your absolute exam cheat code. Notice how almost all of these phrases rely on the connectors k and sa. If you spot k or sa connecting to a name or a noun, bingo, you've likely just found your konseptong pananaw.
Section 4, showing contrasting views. Heads up, exams love to test opposing ideas, so we need to be ready for this.
And this brilliantly illustrates the concept of pangkalahatan pananaw, which means general views. I want you to think of these phrases quite literally like a physical balancing scale used for contrasting arguments. When you write an essay or analyze a debate in Tagalog, you have to weigh both sides, right?
Let's see this scale in action. Over on the left side, we have sa isang banda. In English, this is the exact structural parallel to on one hand. For example, on one hand, comics originated from everyday Filipino life. Now, look to the right. Sa kabilang dako. This means on the other hand. On the other hand, people lose focus when they only read comics. Do you see how perfectly these two prepositional phrases frame a debate? They're huge signposts. They signal to the reader or your test grader that you're about to contrast two opposing points.
Section 5, the Master Concept Map. You've conquered the two main branches, so let's organize them into the ultimate study guide.
Visually trace this map with me. Up at the very top, we have our big umbrella term, Pariralang Pang-ukol, the prepositional phrase. This branches out into two totally distinct functions. Down on the left, we use them for opinions and beliefs, konsepto pananaw. That's your ayon kay, batay sa, and ako ko. Then over on the right, we use them for contrasting or general views, pangkalahatan pananaw. That's your balancing scale, sa isang banda ends a kabilang dako. This single image perfectly organizes everything your brain needs to categorize this vocabulary before you take your test.
Okay, it is mental screenshot time. This is your expression cheat sheet. I highly recommend taking a mental picture of this table right now. It maps the absolute most common Tagalog terms directly to their English meanings, and it tells you exactly what function they serve on an exam. Whether you need to show the source of an idea or contrast a view, this table is your key to translating the questions accurately. Finally, Section 6, Exam Practice Checkpoint. So, the crucial point is, can you actually apply this to a test? Let's find out. All right, I need high energy now. Let's recall the grammatical equation we learned way back in the first section. If a Pariralang Pang-ukol is built by combining a pang-ukol, a preposition, with another block, what is the exact grammatical term for that missing block? Come on, shout it out if you know it.
If you said pangnalan o panghalip, you're absolutely spot on. Remember the dual translation rule. You must find the pangnalan, meaning the noun, or the panghalip, meaning the pronoun, to actually complete the puzzle. For example, in the phrase batay kay Maria, which means based on Maria, batay kay is the preposition, and Maria is our missing pangnalan block.
Let's decode a simulated final assessment together. Exams love matching sections and true or false. When matching, zero in on your root words. You need to instantly recognize that batay sa matches based on, and akala ko matches I thought. For true or false, keep an eye out for definitions. If a question asks if konseptong pananaw shows where a belief came from, you know that pinamaglan means source, so you can confidently slam down true for your answer. Checking the answer key, I really want to highlight the trickiest true or false question here. Look at question 8. It asks if pag-asa is the preposition in our earlier example. The answer is incredibly false. Remember the pitfall we discussed earlier? Pag-asa is the pangalan, it's the noun. The preposition was ayon sa. Do not let the test trick you into circling the noun when they are specifically asking for the preposition.
Let's rapidly summarize everything you've absolutely conquered today. Number 1, the structural formula is exactly like English, preposition plus noun or pronoun. Number 2, you use konseptong pananaw to show the source of an idea. Number 3, you use pangkalathatan pananaw to contrast arguments. And number 4, your ultimate exam trick. When hunting for these phrases, train your eyes to rapidly scan for the connectors kay, sa, and the word akala.
I'm going to leave you with one final provocative thought to test your active recall. If you sit down, flip open your exam tomorrow, and the very first text you read contains the phrase sa kabilang dako, what English phrase should instantly pop into your head to help you solve the question? You know the answer. You've got the tools, you understand the translations, and you know the structure. You are completely armed and ready to crush your Tagalog assessment. Good luck, and keep learning.